Good evening, everyone. How are you? Good evening. Good evening. We're going to give people a little bit of time to get on while I'll share, and you make sure while I'm sharing that you are sharing too. So let me get to this. Cause I can't wait. When I tell you I can't wait, I can't wait for this interview. We're gonna do introductions. You know how they say we're gonna go around the room and introduce everybody. We're gonna do our introductions and everything in just a minute, y'all. Y'all just wait. Y'all wait just 1 second. We got to share this one. This news needs to be everywhere. So y'all make sure that y'all sharing it and jump on in this room. And if you are first time viewers on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe to ATN News Media Group. Hit that like button and also that little bell. So every time we go live, you go live with us. Because y'all know we be out there in them streets. Once again, shouts out to ATN News Media Group and the greatest producer in the world, Spacely Sprockets, who's running it today. I'm still sharing. Give me about one more minute. One more minute, please. I gotta make sure I put it in the HasselBring group. The HasselBring hustlers, they got them group, child. I be trying to put everything in over in there. They be letting me sometimes. They be letting me. Let me see if I can sneak this in today. Then I gotta put it on 18. See, I'm gonna give me an assistant one day, Miss Beverly.
Okay.
I'm manifesting that. That's right. That's right. You know, I gotta manifest that. So my assistant be doing this. I don't have to do all of this. I can just jump right in, get everything going. It's coming. Ain't that right, Mickey? Mickey, he was awfully quiet on that one. I ain't like that one right there. I ain't like that one. Hold on. Let me put it here. Share it over here. Okay. 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 It's cold outside, ain't it?
It's not too bad today. Yesterday was freezing.
It's cold. Anything under 40 degrees. It's cold.
I agree.
It's cold, Miss Baby. It's cold
my biggest
outside.
issue is the back and forth. That's my sinuses and allergies.
Oh yeah. 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 All right. So let's go ahead and thank everyone for tuning in today. Like I said, make sure you share the show. Special edition of the Wyntis Hall show. See, y'all thought the other day that Miss Beverly wasn't coming because they had her come out there in that alley with them baseball bats and it was gonna break her legs, right? So she called me and said, I can't do it because Tony and them is out here in the back of the HasselBring. No, just playing. She had told me then that she was gonna have to reschedule because some things came up and she had wanted me to come on today to show you all, you know, like what really goes on in the HasselBring. But I told you all that me and Mickey had went up there. We just popped up there one day. So you all really know what all goes on in the HasselBring. And I think it's time that we hear it like right from Miss Beverly's mouth. This is Miss Beverly Lewis, and she is director of the HasselBring Senior Center. Yes. I got that right. I got that right. Now I had put on reboot. I'm gonna get to your questions on there, but y'all know it's called the Wyntis Hall Show for a reason, baby. I got to get to mine first. So I got some questions that I'm gonna ask her, and then we're gonna get to the questions that are on the page. So Miss Beverly, let's just get right into it. Like, how long have you been director of HasselBring Senior Center?
Since July 2017. So it's been we're going on 8 years now.
Yeah, 8 years. 8 years. That's a long time.
It is. I promised them 5.
5 years, and you just still
They
there.
won't let me go. They don't want to let me go.
Well, somebody must like you because you know them seniors and babies.
Mhm.
Them is two high groups to
And
please.
those are my groups. I actually am a former educator. Yep, I
Really?
worked with elementary school children, early childhood children. When I retired,
Okay.
and I was sitting at home, and they called me for HasselBring to interview.
Really?
And yep,
And you went
so
up there and you've been there ever
been
since.
there ever since. I keep
And
telling them I'm leaving, but I can't leave with this
you
mess.
can't leave. You couldn't even leave before this mess
That's true.
because
That's true.
when we came up there that day and I had told them on the podcast one day last week, I'm like, she got a whole staff. It's like y'all family up there.
We are. We are. We have a good time. We get the work done. We have a good time, and
Mhm.
and we all count on and depend on one another.
Right, right.
Mhm.
Everybody
Yeah.
was interacting.
Yeah. I even have two volunteers who I call staff, but they don't get paid. They don't get
Really?
paid, but they come to work like they are on the clock and getting a paycheck every 2 weeks. Yes,
And you know what? That's
that's
because they love
dedication.
what they do. Yep, and
It's
dedication.
dedication.
It was something like I said that day when we were up there at HasselBring. It was somebody in every single room except for the computer room. They didn't touch that computer room. But they was all sitting out there watching. I think the Price is Right was on.
Yeah.
Then they was playing pool. They was exercising. They had a card game going. It was people in the front office. I mean, it was seniors everywhere. And they was in the kitchen making coffee. And it was just a nice thing to see. And it's important that we have things like that for our seniors because sometimes they're forgotten about,
They are.
you know.
Yeah.
And it's sad when they are forgotten about. A lot of them don't have family, and the center becomes their family. And I know you've
Absolutely.
seen that happen
Absolutely.
over
Every
and over
day,
again.
over and over,
Yep,
every day.
yep. And so you've been let me see, what's this up here? I remember, and we had started to talk about it just a second before we went live about when the building was chained. When was the building locked up?
All I can tell you for sure is that it was before February 2016.
Okay.
I was not a part of it at that point in time. But I know that's when the original lease for
Okay.
my board of directors was done. So I also know that Eric Mays, the great, was instrumental, and BB worked with him as well, and the staff at Tennessee County Senior Services
Okay.
and the commissioners, they all worked together to come up with a plan for HasselBring board to be able to take over as a standalone
Okay.
outside of the city, because the two times they had been closed,
Mhm.
it was under the city's thumb. So they didn't want the city involved in it.
Eric Mays
BB Nolan,
and Commissioner
Nolan.
he was
He
commissioner
was
at the
commissioner
time,
at that time.
Commissioner Nolan
Mhm.
at that time wanted HasselBring board to take over the center and run the center because both of the times the center was closed.
Yes.
It was under
Under the city.
the guidance of the city.
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I got that right.
Yes. And this is third party knowledge for me. I was not there.
Mhm.
However, I have talked to several people who were instrumental in making that happen.
Okay. Okay.
And they're all saying the same thing.
Okay. Well, I mean, the lie don't get told the same way
That's
twice.
right.
It never does. So, and thank everybody for joining in.
Yes.
Thank you all. Make sure you share and click that like button. Again, Miss Beverly Lewis, director of the HasselBring Senior Center, she's here to give us her story, and 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 we appreciate that today. We appreciate that. So, you said that you promised them 5 years. You've been there for 8.
Going on 8.
Going on 8. So, Councilman Mays he was councilman in the first ward for the last 10 years. So your whole tenure
was
there
under him.
and under him that whole time with no lease,
Right.
and you still paying $1
Right.
under Eric Mays.
Yes.
3 different administrations. Well, emergency manager,
Karen Weaver.
Dr. Weaver, Neely administration. $1. HasselBring. Ain't that something?
Go figure.
Go figure. You get a new council person and everything goes haywire.
Well, to be honest, I wanna be truthful. It
Uh-huh.
went haywire before we got the new council person. Actually, the beginning of it going haywire was in January, prior to Eric's passing. Um, when Mayor Neely was running against McDonald Rivet McDonald. I don't know how to say
Okay,
it.
that Christian Ribbit
Yes, yes.
Congress. Okay, okay.
And her team reached out and asked if she could come and have like open conversation with the seniors.
Okay, that's nice.
Of
Because,
course.
like we said, the seniors are
Yes.
sometimes forgotten about.
Absolutely. And we love it when our elected officials want to talk to them, get their input,
Right. They
find
want their
out what it
vote.
is they want.
Right,
Right.
right.
Right. So we, being a 501c3, no one is allowed to campaign up there. We've had events up there before, like meet the candidates and different things, and they're not allowed to wear their swag. They
Okay.
can't, turn it inside out, leave out and go get something else to put on, whatever, cover it up, no problem. None of that is allowed inside that building.
Okay.
Every time someone calls me and asks me, and elected officials now, I'm not talking about people running for anything, elected officials, when they call and ask, can they come have conversations? Of course you can. But I make sure they know what the rules are. Most of them already know because they're familiar with 501c3.
Right, absolutely.
So a couple hours before she was scheduled to show up, I got a call from the mayor himself on my cell phone. Beverly, this is your mayor. Yes. Uh, you got that lady coming today to talk to the seniors. I said seniors and other community
You should have
members.
said
Yes.
what lady? What lady you talking about, Shep? What lady?
So, I said, yes, sir. He was like, oh, no. You got to shut that down. I said, no. So what do you feel like I need to shut that down? Well, she ain't allowed to do that. That's against the rules. You're a 501c3. You're a nonprofit. You can't have people up there campaigning. I said, I know I can't have people campaigning. That's not what she's coming for. She's coming to have conversation. I said, you did it when you were our state rep. No, I ain't never. We don't have to argue about that because I know I allowed it myself at least 2 times. so, I denied him. So, in my opinion, that was the start of it because a week, maybe 2 later,
here come this lease.
Here comes the lease conversation. Well, actually, when they called to schedule the lease, I got a call from one of his workers in his office asking to schedule a meeting. Now, I'm thinking somebody wants to do a community meeting at the center. I'm geared up. Oh, getting my calendar out. What day? When y'all want to come? Because I try to make sure that those things happen. It's always great when people come to them instead of them having to chase people around to find out what's happening.
Right.
And so I was quickly told, no, not that. We need you to come in and have a conversation with the mayor.
You got called to the mayor's office.
I got called to the mayor's office. I said, oh, okay. I don't remember what I was doing, but it was beginning of the year. We're trying to get everything set up.
Right.
So I said, okay, we scheduled it, hung up, and I was like, wait a minute, what is the meeting about? So I called back. Wait a minute, what is this meeting about? Oh, it's to discuss a lease. I said, oh, okay, now.
Oh, okay.
Now I got you.
My lease
Okay, no problem.
up.
No problem. So that went on. A few days later, I got the invitation for the meeting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it had on there, oh, well, who's going to be in attendance? I was like, wait a minute, they got an attorney coming in there. Okay, let me call my board. Gave them the update, told them they're going to have an attorney at this meeting. I said, we don't need to go into a meeting without an attorney. So we hired an attorney.
Who you hired?
Lois Fletcher.
Okay.
Wasn't the best choice, but that's what we hired.
Okay.
It was not a good choice.
Okay.
But that's what we hired. We hired him because with the short notice, well, I'm going to say partially because with the short notice, we didn't want anybody in Flint, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Because we don't know who has dealings with the mayor's office, who's supporting the mayor's office, who's, against the mayor's office. We wanted someone neutral. Mm-hmm. So we were looking outside of Flint. But with the short notice and everything, we weren't able to find anybody that could take on our situation. So anyway, we had our very first sit down February 1st.
Okay.
And like I said, I believe it all
I
stemmed
oh
from
I know attorney Fletcher.
mhm,
Yeah, Mary Neely,
downtown.
he appointed him and I both on the Bishop Airport board.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I had to think about it for a minute. I'm sorry. Okay, go
It's
ahead.
okay. It's okay. So anyway, that's how it started.
Okay.
And like I said, to get back to your question, that's was prior to our current first ward council person being on board.
Okay. Now, when you got called to the mayor's office, I'm just going a little bit off script here.
Hmm.
Ed Taylor was councilperson of what ward?
I don't know. That was back.
That was way back before.
So let me. I'm not. I don't get into the politics of this.
Okay.
I've had more politics in 2024 and I had my whole life. Okay.
She said she
So
don't even know what
I
ward
don't
he
even
was
do
in.
I mean I know he was a council
She,
person.
okay,
I can't
okay,
tell you what ward or
okay,
nothing
okay.
else.
So y'all
Right.
ain't never had no past dealings, nothing. So
We
I
go to
wanted
the
to get
same
that
church is
established.
all I can tell
Okay,
you.
good. Okay, all right. I wanted
So
to make sure we got that established. I ain't got nothing to do with Ed. All right.
well, what don't have nothing to do with it? There's some of this stuff got something to do with it, but
Y'all, some of this. Oh, okay. We're gonna get to Ed in a minute now. All right. So this is my question. So we go through all this time. You done told us, okay, Kristen Ribbit was coming. Sheldon Neely wasn't happy about it. Now
no,
he
he
didn't call
wasn't.
and told you. He didn't said, I'm not happy about this.
Not at all.
I don't know why you got her coming. She gonna beat me. They're gonna make me drop out the race. That's what he really wanted to say now. And I done told everybody that watches A10. Now Sheldon is petty.
Very,
Now he is just
very.
as petty can
I
be.
agree
Because
with
I'm
that.
petty as hell. But Petty Patty and I together
Right.
was a force.
Right.
Because I know how petty he can get
Right.
and vindictive.
Very.
And he don't forget stuff.
At all.
A little birdie told me, and my word on the street be 99.9% accurate, that the Brennan Center lease was up. You heard anything about that?
I know for a fact that their lease expired
You
at the
said
end
you
of the
know for a
day. A
fact.
fact.
Check
Their
it off
lease
again.
expired end of day September 30th this year.
September 30th.
Just this past September.
But HasselBring done been on the agenda how many times?
So the city don't want to talk to Brennan Center until they figure out what's happening with HasselBring.
Huh.
It,
So they just we gotta
they
get the
avoided
HasselBring.
them. They avoided them for a couple of weeks before the lease expired. They were reaching out to say, "Hey, when can we start this?" And they avoided them. And then when they finally talked to them after the lease started, they were told, "No, we'll deal with y'all after we deal with HasselBring. After we finish with HasselBring."
Finish with HasselBring. How shocked were you when did you get a call? Because I'm sure you weren't searching on the career site on the city of Flint because you already had a job. How shocked was you when you got the call that the job to run the center was posted?
So that didn't shock me. Let me tell you what shocked me.
Okay.
What shocked me was on September 10th, I believe, if that's a Tuesday, was our board meeting. We had been reaching out to have more dialogue with the city. Have been being ignored. Leon had been saying, let me see if I can get a meeting together, right? And that hadn't happened. Still hadn't happened with us reaching out, or I guess with him reaching out. So I called the mayor's office and invited him to our board meeting. It was the first one we were going to have after the lease had been dismissed the first time. So I was told that the mayor was going to be in Detroit. He had a speaking engagement, wouldn't be able to be there. I said, God, that's unfortunate. Right? Well, okay. So then the day of the meeting, I got a call saying, can anybody attend? Yes, our meetings are open to the public. We don't have a lot of space, but open to the public.
He sent Tommy.
No, he sent Renita and Tiffany. And so I had also invited Leon to the meeting as well. And so we went through the first part of our business. We put that at the top so it could be discussed so they could, be free to leave if they wanted to. And when we start talking about it, I can't remember exactly how the conversation went, but uh, Renita mentioned some letters that had been sent to HasselBring.
Mhm.
What letters? So, cease and desist letters. What are you talking about? Cease and desist what? Third party rentals. Well, that's their term. How is it third party rentals when you don't have anything to do with our organization? It's
Right.
not a third party rental, but that's their word. Okay, well, we didn't get those. Tiffany, back and forth. Yes, you did. No, we didn't. We're just in them. We have gotten no mail from the city of Flint. No emails from the city of Flint. Yes, you did. Prove it. So
They probably had Mr. Moore to send them. That's the CFO child. He
she
don't be
had
knowing.
no, she had Joseph Cups on the phone.
Like he don't know either.
Don't know nothing. And had him on the phone.
Bless
And I guess he was sending her stuff.
you. Mhm.
So she shows me a letter on her phone
This right here, they probably did one of them numbers.
that had to HasselBring, whatever,
Mhm.
whatever, HasselBring Senior Center. And it had my personal email address on it and my board president's personal email address on it. I'm like, what is this?
You know
I
what I'm
didn't read
saying?
the letter because
That's
that
your
was in
person.
color. That was in color. So it stood out, right? So I'm like, what is this? I said, this is my personal email address. I rarely check that. I said, he never checks his. What is this? I said, but that doesn't prove you sent it to us. Show me the proof that you sent it to us.
Right.
That's proof. I said, no, baby. So I had to educate her and say, this evidently is an attachment to an email. Show me the email.
Mhm.
So after I went back and sat down. So after about 10, 15 minutes, she comes back. She shows me the email, which had been sent to my personal email address and to my board president's email address. We don't do business at home for HasselBring. You
This the city.
every
This the
invitation
city,
you
y'all.
guys have sent us for a
This the
meeting has
city.
come to HasselBring 1002
Flint
West Home
broke.
Avenue. I mean West Home Avenue 102002 at gmail.com. So why would these come to us personally? Why would you send business stuff to us? Period.
Flint broke. This just the
So
stories write itself.
I said, and you're saying letters. You showed me one. She said, yeah, there's two. One was dated August 13th. One was dated August 30th. Right? So the next day, I get an email from Mr. Cups with three letters. One dated August 13th, one August 16th, and one August 30th. Where the 16th one come from? Right?
Mhm.
So it's shenanigans, to say the
Absolutely.
least.
Right.
Shenanigans. So
Rigmarole.
Renita went on
Uncle
to
Carl was right.
explain that because we had not responded to the letters,
Mhm.
the center had been put up for bid. I'm like, what? Say what now?
Bid for what?
For somebody to bid to take over the building.
I thought you was talking about bid with. So
So
they
I'm
didn't
like,
put the building up for bid.
yeah. So what are you talking about? She was like, yeah. So she showed it to me.
So you had to school them again.
She showed no. They had done it. However, it had been taken down. I guess the day before. Okay. So I'm like, well, that's interesting. That and that was part like even going through the whole negotiations. Most of the time, there was some crazy stuff in there that they, easily got rid of to make it look like they were really trying to do something, right? But when it got down to the meat of it, there were a couple things we didn't like that we absolutely did not want to agree to. And the threat was always, well, if you guys don't sign it, hey, we'll just put the center up for bid and let somebody else come in and run services, blah, 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 blah. So going back, I mean, from February to July, come on, y'all, back and forth, doing this, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So finally, my board president was like, let's just go ahead and sign it. Let's get this over with.
What did
Trying
your
to do the right
councilman
thing.
say? Because he said he was in
So,
there
well,
instrumental.
let me tell you how he was instrumental. So the original lease proposal was for $4,386.67 a month
A month.
for the first year,
Damn.
and it went up 3% each year to over 5,000 for year 5.
For the
So
senior center?
so my counter was $1. So they were like, that ain't gonna work, that ain't gonna work, that ain't gonna work. So then I counted with 100. So then they sent me a letter saying, well, it looks like the only thing, and it was through the attorney. It seems like the only issue your client has is the price, which wasn't true. That's just the way they saw it.
Mhm.
So we'll cut it down to $22.50 a month. That ain't happening either.
$1 to
So
5,000 down to
so
22.50.
in the negotiations, and I don't know how you do this. I really don't know how you show a credit for something when there's no anyway. So the way they wrote the lease, we settled on 500. When Leon got involved, if memory serves me right, he contacted me before the city did.
Okay.
And said, I got him to come down to $500. I said, really?
That's a good thing.
That's a great thing.
That's a good thing.
That's a great thing.
That's a good thing.
I said, okay, because they were talking about, we're not coming below 1,500 was the last conversation we had prior to me telling Mr. Fletcher, thank you, but, we good. Right? So, but
I knew it was a but. I knew it was a but in there.
In the lease, the city put, and this wasn't really understood from the conversations that we had. They have on there that the rent is $2,000, but they're giving us a $1,500 credit, so we only pay $500. However, if we fail to do anything, if we fail to, follow anything that's in the lease, they can take it back up to $2,000.
This is political suicide.
It's all political.
I don't understand. You don't mess with no seniors. And the senior center at that, I mean, the seniors who don't like each other come together to get you out of office when you start messing with the senior center. This is crazy.
Well,
what is this?
We agreed to the 500. We were okay with the 500. The issue, because a lot of people think that we said no to the 500. They think that we were fighting against the 500. That wasn't the case. When it went to city council, council didn't like it. They were like, "What the hell? What happened to the dollar?"
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
They were the ones who said, "Oh no, we're not doing this."
You had some strong advocates on there.
Absolutely.
The letter to quit. Notice to quit.
That's the letter that went to my email. Is that a notice to quit too?
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. I get my glasses. I have to do the opposite of Wyntis.
No, I can see it when it's
What emails did it go to? No. But
Comcast.net and gmail.com.
So it went to my board president and to HasselBring. You see how that blue stands out?
Yeah.
That's how it stood out when she was showing it to me on her phone. It made me notice that before I even noticed what the letter said. Right? Yep, that's the notice.
Do you see this? I got 37,149 personal emails that I haven't checked.
Okay.
30. Okay. Am I lying?
No, you're not.
37,000. So I understand when you say you don't check your personal emails.
Don't have time. So anyway, council said no. Well, let me back up a little bit. I had asked Mr. Wallace, he's the assistant city attorney. And I'm gonna tell you I probably had my best conversation with him. Okay. And so, because they had gotten to a point where I refused to meet with Ed Taylor. Okay. The mayor knew that. Oh yes. And so I was talking to Mr. Wallace because the other guy who was Kim had left. Okay. And he said,
"Which one is Mr. Wallace? Because they rotate every week."
Wallace is the tall black.
Okay, all right, I got that one. I only got one.
So I'd asked him. I said, "Well, when is this going to council?" Now, I don't know if y'all know or not, but I don't go to council meetings.
Oh yeah, we know. We go. I've
been down there one time. Okay, and so he said, "Oh, it's going to go middle of August. Middle of August? Middle of August." I said, "Okay, no problem." So it ended up going the first week of August. And I believe that's when it was scheduled to go. But I also believe that Mr. Taylor pushed it early. Maybe he thought I was going to come and fight against it. I don't know what they thought. I don't know. So I didn't even know it was going to council. Nobody had called me and told me, hey, HasselBring's lease is on the agenda. Nothing. I didn't know anything. That was on Wednesday. On Thursday, I got to work at 7:20. Phone started ringing off. My personal phone started ringing off the hook at 7:25. People was lined up outside my door at 8 o'clock to talk to me, want to know what the hell is going on. I don't know what y'all talking about. Well, what is y'all talking about? Oh, council got on Ed Taylor about your lease and this and I was like, the lease was up yesterday. I was like, yeah. I was like, I didn't even know it was going.
Oh wow.
So I ended up my phone. Usually when I get home 4 or 5 o'clock, I'm at least at 30%. I left out of there at 1 o'clock on less than 20. That's how much my
Because some
phone was
people
ringing.
want to know what's going
People want to know what's
on.
going on, and you can't be mad about them for wanting to know what's
Right.
going on. At that point in time, I want to know what was going on too.
Right.
So people are telling me and giving me tidbits about what happened at council and this, that, and the other, and giving their opinion about what happened. And I said, I got to go home. So by the time I left, I had a headache. Went home, took me about an hour and a half nap, got up, went on the website and watched it. And I was just flabbergasted with how Ed presented it, right? So council had questions. The first thing was they didn't like the $1. They didn't like some of the other little pieces that was in there that we didn't like. But we were basically told take it or, shove it. Right?
Mhm.
So I was like, it was only like a maybe 17-minute segment. But I watched it 3 times. The last
Wow.
time I watched it in pieces so I could write down stuff that was of concern. He misrepresented our money so ridiculously that it wasn't even funny. And then he would not answer questions, claiming not to know the answer. Now, we've been talking this stuff since February, over and over and over. In the beginning, they demanded to see our financials. I gave them our last 3 years of financials. So you see that we have no money left over at the end of the year. You already see that.
And you only
It
get
got a
paid
little bit better each year.
$50,000. Let's make that clear.
Yes.
$50,000. And
Yes.
you up
Oh,
there
and
every
he thought
day.
that was big. Oh, yeah. And the director makes $50,000. Like that's a.
That's
I
not
could go
nothing.
anywhere else and get almost double what I'm getting now.
Right.
But that's not. I'm not about. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna get paid for what I do, but it's
Absolutely.
not about the money for me, right? But yeah, at the same time, I got bills to pay,
Absolutely.
just like everybody else. So what I did was I wrote a letter to council, and by Friday morning, they all had it in their inboxes because council sent it to special agenda for that Monday, and I wanted them to have it in time for that. I wanted their questions answered, and I wanted them to know the truth of what our finances look like. So, Monday, 2 hours before a council meeting, I get a call from the mayor again
Mm. Shit.
from somebody else's phone. Uh, I was in the process of leaving out the door. I had somewhere to be. And I who I thought it was, I answered the phone and I was like, "Hey, what's up? I only got a minute. I'm on my way out the door." Beverly, this your mayor? Yes. What's up? Uh, uh, uh. Did you send letters to the seniors and ask them to come down here and protest the lease? I said, "What? No. What are you talking about?" Letters went out to seniors. I said, "Not to my knowledge." He said, "Well, did you write a letter?" Yes, sir, I did.
See, I told y'all he do stuff directly, but
I sent
indirectly.
a letter directly to each and every one of city council, correcting all the lies your boy told
Mm-hmm.
and providing the answers that he didn't provide,
Mm-hmm.
the questions that he didn't. I said, so yes, that's what I did. Well, I need you to call city council, all of them, and tell them that you okay with the lease the way it is. I said, excuse me. Number one, I don't feel the need to do that. I said, even though we didn't like the lease in its totality, we signed it. That tells them that, okay, push come to shove, this is what we'll go with. I said, but we appreciate that they're standing up for us.
Mm-hmm.
You wasn't under any duress. No, excuse me. You can't say what I was. You can say what you were. You can't say what I was. You can't say what we were.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, I had said 4 times I had to go. I had somewhere to be at 2 o'clock.
He didn't care.
So finally, I said to him, I am trying not to be rude and hang up on you, but I gotta go.
Shit, he would have hung up on
By
you.
Beverly, he would have. But you know, I'm gonna be me no matter what. Winters,
Mhm.
I'm gonna be me. I got good home training, right? And that's my number one guy right there. And you don't know how many times I pray for discernment. Lord, speak through me, shut me up, and speak through me. Because there's a lot of things I could have said
I know him. I
with all
know.
of this
I
mess, and
know.
I've held my peace.
Mhm.
I have held my peace. You know, I've done interviews, and it's a lot more I could have said even in some of those interviews.
Mhm.
You know, but it is what it is, right?
Right.
So then council indefinitely suspended it.
Mhm. Hmm.
So my understanding
Hmm.
is that if a resolution comes through council and is thrown out,
Mhm.
if it comes back, there needs to be some kind of change in it. Am I right or wrong?
They changed words,
They didn't change anything in that lease that they brought back a few weeks ago.
and it still gets through. They can bring it
No,
right
but
back
it
up
didn't.
again. Oh, it
Yeah,
don't
but I'm just
surprise me.
saying.
It
But
don't
now
surprise
he
me.
pissed because it didn't get it got suspended again.
Good.
So the notice to quit said what? In part because council wouldn't approve it, right? So you putting us out because of what council wouldn't do? We did
Oh,
what you asked us to
he
do. We
mad.
signed the
He
damn
mad
thing.
now. He
Yeah,
mad.
he mad.
He doing everything now. He
Everything.
mad.
Yes. Yes. Now, I have a question.
Mhm. Mhm.
Who knows how you can get a recording of his show yesterday from WFLT?
Well, it should,
Somebody put it up there.
it
Let
should,
us know. We
should,
need to know.
it should be a link
For the
from,
radio show?
yeah,
Okay.
on the City of Flint, or either Mayor Sheldon A. Neely page or either the City of Flint page. It should be on there. It
I
should be
need
a
to
link.
listen to it. Because I don't want to put any mistruths out there.
Mm-hmm.
But I heard that he made some statements about HasselBring that I would definitely like to hear for myself.
Oh, well, we're gonna make sure that we.
Is that the statement when he said he was living his best life?
No, it was a statement about not only were we getting up out the building, he was taking our money. Now I was told that. I don't know if he
Oh,
said it, but I was
okay,
told by two people
okay,
that he said it. I'd like to hear it for myself.
okay,
Mhm.
okay. All right, and it looks like you can do that because they have community updates.
Okay.
This was one day ago, and it's on there. So it's like on something that you can, I guess you can play. See, there you go, right
There
there.
you
Look
go,
at the
right there. Okay, you
little
said under
man.
community update.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm not,
He
I've
gonna
done.
take it down, so you better record.
Look, somebody downloaded fast for us,
Yeah,
so he definitely gonna take it down.
send me the link.
It's on
Is it a
Switch.
link on there?
Yep, it's a link.
Because he
Switcher.
probably listening now.
You know damn well he listening. Hell.
Hey, man.
While I'm sending you this, has anybody else now? I know we've had the people on council, but has anybody else besides any public official besides Commissioner Lloyd, Delrico Lloyd, speak out about the HasselBring Senior Center? Besides the ones on council, I'm like, where's all the groups, the public officials?
Mm-mm. And I sent letters out a week ago Friday via email. They will be going out again on tomorrow
You mean
via email
Commissioner
and
Commissioner Lloyd was the only one?
yes, and email and U.S. mail. They'll be going out again tomorrow. Uh,
The groups around the city
so I have had people who have spoken to me
privately,
privately,
yeah,
but
not stand up for you
not
publicly.
right.
When it
Well,
really
right,
counts.
right. Now,
Mhm.
one of the things I'm asking for is um letters of support.
Mhm.
Um to be sent to me via email at HasselBring1002 at gmail.com. Send them directly to the mayor. Let him know how
Somebody
you
type
feel
that in
about
the chat for me
yeah.
so Mickey can post it up on the screen. What was the email address again?
HasselBring HasselBring 1002 at gmail.com.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Now let me get
So I
to
don't know
our
if it'll let me
questions here.
download. It won't let me download. Let me save it. But if he erase it,
You
it'll
go
be
home, you
gone.
gotta go home and watch it real quick.
Yeah.
Real
Yeah.
quick.
So, well, I'm gonna tell you something funny happened
You said
last week.
1002.
At gmail.com. Oh, excuse me. So something that happened funny last week. I had posted. I don't even remember what I posted last week. Y'all gonna see a whole lot more posts from me coming up. Okay,
Okay.
we can
Okay.
really do it up. Um, and when I went back to look at it, someone had dropped from, I think it was from Flint, um, police operations or something, had dropped like a update for a missing flyer in the spot where my post was, and my post moved to the comments. I, I'm not tech savvy. Savvy. I started to call Mickey and say, Mickey, how they do that, right?
What?
But I just reposted it. It didn't matter. Yeah. So I don't know what that was all about.
I don't know what that was about either. That's crazy.
It
But you
has
was
never happened to me before.
little sabotages will come.
Yeah, doesn't shock me.
The land. 15,
It's
16.
almost it's 14 point something acres.
Okay, and we know that what was the other one over there? House of Esther was
Hmm.
the
That was
biggest
that was
parcel.
bigger
That was the
than
biggest
us.
parcel.
Hmm.
Y'all might be right up there in the
Hmm.
top 5.
Yep.
In your opinion,
Hmm.
do you think the city wants the land, or do they want this millage money that you are getting?
I think for starters, he wants the millage money that we're getting, and eventually he wants the land. Um, I had not considered the land previously because I didn't know anything about what I hadn't been hearing of any of the background about what's going on with the land and the building up of the north end, and so on and so
Hmm.
forth.
Master plan, as
Yeah,
Mr.
but
Davis
now
told
that I'm hearing bits and pieces of that, it sounds like um, it sounds like they want the land. But let me stick it to her real quick and get this county money first.
you. Hmm.
That's how I feel.
Right.
And if he can disagree with me, he can call me and tell me, and we can discuss it.
Mhm.
But that's part of the
You can call
problem.
you call it to the show,
Yeah,
Mary. Call it
that's
to the show.
part of the problem is the refusal on their end to have conversation. Because even before this stuff went back to council the second time, we've been reaching out for conversation, and nothing has been happening. Matter of fact, I have a voice recording of him from October the 11th.
Oh, he don't do well with voice
He
recordings.
he don't
It's
know he
not
was
about the Mots again, is it?
so no.
Okay.
Where we were trying to have a conversation with him. It was one of my board members, myself, my board president, board vice president were on the phone. She called him because she had just had a conversation with him in at City Hall,
Mm-hmm.
and she had questions. And so
Mm-hmm.
she came to me with the questions, and my answer didn't sound anything like what he was trying to say. So she wanted some clarification. So she told him we were on the phone. We were with her on the phone, and she just wanted to know if she could ask a couple questions. He said what I told him back in July. I will never have a conversation with you and it not be recorded. You and your people and it not be recorded. I told him that.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, "Well, wait a minute. Let me figure out how to record this call." Okay. So he was fooling around with his phone, couldn't figure it out. So he came back. He was like, "Look, I can't figure out how to get it to record right now." He was like, "But we'll call you." It was a weekend. It was Friday evening, I believe. We'll call and we'll set up something, a conference call with the attorneys and everybody that matters, so that we can have this on record. That call hasn't come yet.
Mm. Mm.
Still waiting on it. So
So he not even meeting with you, talking to you.
no, not at all. But he's telling people I refuse to meet with them because in August, right after special affairs
Uh-huh.
meeting, I was on my way with my youth or I was already in Indiana for a conference. And I was still a little teed off with him by the way he had done that week with me. And so she called and asked for a meeting. And I know at that time, they still had me meeting with Ed Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, oh no, absolutely not. I will not ever meet with him again. And if I meet with any of you again, it will be with some representation again. That was it. Matter of fact, it was a text.
Okay.
It was a text. And so since then, he's been telling people I refuse to meet with them. No, I refuse to meet with Ed Taylor.
Mm.
Ed Taylor will not disrespect me and ever have an opportunity to sit down with me again.
Okay. Okay.
Ever.
Okay.
So, and I
Okay.
told the mayor that to his face. The last meeting I had with Ed Taylor, I left because he was a bit disrespectful.
Okay.
Oh, you leaving? Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I am.
Mhm.
Got down to Harrison in the highway and I-75, 475. Mayor calls me back. I said, I'm not coming back to talk to him. No, 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 no. No, no, you're gonna come, you're gonna talk to me. Okay, I can do that. But I'll never sit down with him again. Common knowledge. Everybody that knows me,
Mhm.
that's had a conversation with me about the mayor's office, knows that I will not talk to Ed Taylor. You know what? Love the brother. Love him. Won't deal with him
Okay.
because I don't have to.
Okay. You don't. You sure don't. You don't. You
Don't
don't
have
have
to.
to.
Refuse
You
to.
don't have to have nobody disrespect you.
I will not.
Nobody at all.
I will not.
Now I got I wanna get to these questions here on reboot.
Mm-hmm.
And actually the question that Tony got, a lot of people was talking about
Mm-hmm.
it, and it's a good question. Now and I asked you before, he didn't quite put it in here,
Mm-hmm.
but I wanna hold on, I wanna make sure this wasn't Sheldon trying to call in to the show, because I told him to call in if he wanted
mm-hmm.
something to say. No, that wasn't Sheldon trying to call in. Okay. I wanted to make sure now, because if it was, I was gonna call him back and give him a little
All
time.
right. Give him an opportunity.
Give him a little time. But he said he wasn't gonna come on her. So I just thought maybe he would have called. So somebody had I had got a receipt. Somebody was renting out the HasselBring.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, maybe the city is thinking that you get more money than the standard you said with $500 to
It's
rent it.
$500
You can't find
generally.
nowhere.
So
Nowhere $500.
the purpose of us renting. Let me start there. We get $137,923 annually from the senior millage.
Okay.
That's our only guaranteed source of funding.
$137,000.
923 is not, so you can almost say almost $138,000. That's our only guaranteed source of funding. It is not it is not enough to cover everything.
And
There's some shortfalls.
you pay
We
the,
pay
all the
everything.
bills.
Everything. We have 2 light bills, one for the building, one for the parking lot. Water, cleaning supplies, staff,
How much is your
everything.
average consumer bill a month?
So it depends. In the wintertime, it's anywhere between $850 and $1,000. And
Ooh.
that's down right now. That's down since we had some of the work done.
You need to go to that service center on Cloud Road, because they say it's only about $100 up there. That's what they told
Yeah,
Dennis one
right.
day.
What they told
About
me about.
$100.
So, and then the water bill averages $550-ish a month, right? Now that's for the inside. Outside parking lot lights are anywhere between $250, $350 a month. It depends
And
on
it's
time.
well lit. I will
It's
give
well
you
lit.
that.
It
It's
is.
well
Now
lit for them
that's
seniors.
consistent. The building
Mhm.
consumers, you know, when we had the electrical updated last year,
Mhm.
it did take our bill down because our bill was more like $2,500.
Oh my God.
So that helped that a lot. But dang, what did she make me lose my train of thought?
No. We was talking about
So
the bills and stuff and
rent uh rental prices.
Mhm.
I have one staff member who's paid completely out of that part time, but still,
Okay.
20 hours a week, 40 hours every 2 weeks, right?
Mhm.
At a little bit over minimum wage, which is going up in January, right?
Mhm.
So we're not trying to make bank with
Right.
these rentals. We want people in the community to have a place where they can come and have their gatherings and not be worried about trying to pay $1,700
17.
to
2,000.
to
3,000.
3,000, right,
Right.
or more. Now, it's like, let's make it reasonable,
Mhm.
okay? And so it's a deposit of 150,
And that's what
which
I
is
was getting ready to say, Miss Beverly. Do you think they getting confused and thinking it's that 500 plus, which ain't even a lot, but
it
it's
shouldn't be
150?
confused when it's explained to them. It's in writing. Let me tell you my contract. Every single thing that they have to agree to, they have to initial that they read and understood it. Okay. Now, I encourage everybody, I don't care what it is. Any document you have to sign, read it. Don't
Right.
sign nothing
Right.
without reading. But not only do they sign the end of the document, they initial each line saying that I read and I understand this. If you have any questions, now,
I'm thinking the city thinking like she's saying 500, but it's really 650.
no, they know better than that. No, no,
That's what I was
they
saying.
know better than that. And then let me tell you something else with the rentals. You know, when you lose a loved one,
Mhm.
you're not expecting to have to go rent a place, right?
Girl, it's so
So
high.
you know what I talked my board into?
What?
If it's a repass, half price. So you can get do a repass. We have one tomorrow. Repass rental, $250.
$250 for a
Yes, ma'am.
repass rental.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
It's nowhere else in Genesee County
Nowhere else.
with the kitchen that they got up there
Mhm.
and that size you can find for two. It's nowhere. I guarantee it's probably nowhere in Michigan. $250 for the size of HasselBring for a repass. They starting off at $800
I know. Believe me, I'm involved in trying to do
at the
activities and
church.
events from my church, right? And if we wanted, have it someplace nicer than the church, yeah,
Mhm.
we paying a nice little penny for something we want to do in February,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So yeah.
So that goes back to what he was saying. So we talked about the going rate for event at the center.
Mhm.
The what paperwork, because they trying to make a big deal into liquor being at the HasselBring. And let me tell you something. I don't want to tell on folks. I ain't no snitch. I know a lot of people from the city because I may have seen them. I don't know. I can't remember exactly.
Okay.
That's been up in them cabarets up in the
Mhm.
HasselBring.
Mhm.
Now this ain't nothing. Why
It ain't
they?
nothing new. It's been happening for years, even before I came. But let me put a little spin on that. I'm gonna put a spin on it. Then I'm gonna come back and answer your question. So the city has some people, a lot of some people, thinking that we serving alcohol up in there all day long.
Like you got a bar in
I
there, like during the day, like it's the
I
liquor
can't
stuff.
tell you how many people have asked me why the seniors up in there drinking. Baby, that ain't happening. Okay, so it's when you put information out, you can put it out to where people really understand it, or you can put it out to make it seem like it's something else.
Right,
So I'm just
right.
saying that. Now let's go back to that paperwork. But number one, everyone who rents, everyone who rents has to have liability certificate.
Hmm.
We have one, but if this is your event and something happens, you have to be responsible. The city has one, I'm sure,
Hmm.
right? So we all good and covered. For alcohol, if it's BYOB, the liability is already got to have that.
Okay.
But if it's BYOB, you have to have security
Mm, okay.
mandated. You have to.
Provided by HasselBring, or they have
No,
to get their
no,
own.
you get your own security.
Okay, and they got to show proof.
You got to show proof
Okay.
before you even get the door open for you.
Oh, okay.
If
Okay.
you're providing alcohol,
Hmm.
you have to have a state liquor license or a license or certified bartender and security.
Okay. Okay. Now that's good. That's good. Now
Wait a minute,
this
let me add to that.
okay.
We
Oh,
haven't had
you got.
any issues.
I was gonna say you gotta ask some. You know what? You haven't had no issues.
None. None.
No issues.
None. Anytime the police has been called up there for anything, and when I had a little custodian this summer and into the fall that was calling the police every time he heard anything.
That's
I'm
about
like,
them
man, if
doing
you don't
donuts in the
quit,
parking lot.
yeah,
I know
man, if
that's
you
what it
don't quit.
was.
But we have had no issues with anything from any rentals that we've had, no matter what the purpose.
And you
And
know
and,
it be
and this
all over.
another thing is 90% of our rentals don't have any alcohol at all.
Mm.
BYOB or served. But we definitely don't serve alcohol during the day.
And we popped in and we didn't see that. And we was all in the kitchen and everything.
Everywhere.
The man
Okay.
was drinking coffee. We
Yeah,
was
we'll serve coffee
literally
all day long.
well, and that's what he was
Yeah.
making. No, we went through the whole building. There's no bar in there where they serving liquor throughout the day, so they can stop
Thank
that
you for
right
that
now.
clarification.
Um, Now this is a good question.
Hmm.
From your rentals throughout the year, how
Hmm.
much do you invest back into the center, and how much do you keep? Those he said may be question that the city may be requesting that you refuse to agree to. That's
No,
what's got us here.
all of it goes back into all of it goes back into services, paying staff, paying bills, special trips. We went to um, the just before Thanksgiving, Mott's Culinary
Mhm.
Institute. They provided a free lunch for seniors. It was,
Y'all
walk
took
through.
her.
It was very, very nice. It was walk through.
You had transportation for them.
I got transportation for the simple fact that we have all these seniors who are going to have to park who knows where and
Right,
walk over to that corner,
right.
walk through a line, get their food, walk back to their car. Let's get a bus.
Oh,
Let's get a bus. In I think it was October, I took 55 seniors and their families, grandchildren, right, to a Pistons game in Lansing.
mm,
So we do things like that.
mhm,
We have we gave away turkeys, you know. So we're gonna make sure that at the end of the day we can pay our bills, we can pay
mhm.
our staff, but when there's money left over, we do special events. We're having a Christmas party on Tuesday, 1 o'clock. Y'all come,
Oh, we
right?
gonna we coming. 18 got
Now,
invited. We coming.
now A10 is invited as my guest. I have their ticket prices covered. Tickets are only $5, but that's covering your food. But I have to pay a DJ. I have to pay somebody to decorate. I got to pay this. Got to pay
Oh,
that. I'm paying entertainment, right?
Miss Joanne gonna sing
Shit,
just a little bit,
just
one song.
just a little bit. But I got somebody else coming that's gonna
Okay,
sing too. I got
okay.
some surprises. So nobody knows really who's gonna be on the program, right?
That's nice.
But we're gonna Guardio will be the DJ.
Oh, they
You
gonna
know
have
what
a
I'm
good
saying. So
time.
I will tell y'all that because everybody
Okay.
loves us, when he DJs. But it's gonna be a nice event. It's costing
Mhm.
us to put this program on.
Of course it
The
is.
$5 is just covering the food, y'all. That's it. That's
Mhm.
it. You gonna walk out of there and look. Let me give my shout out to my culinary connoisseur, Deborah Carter. She's one of my employees. She was hired years ago through the AARP program to come in and do lunches.
Oh,
She's a
that's
caterer.
nice. That's
That
nice.
girl can throw down in the kitchen. Here, she can throw down. And so when her time was up, well, she was there with me during COVID.
Mhm.
Everything changed during COVID. So of course she started picking up like more of the office duties and just other things to kind of relieve me to be able to do some of the other grunt work that I have to do.
Mhm.
And I just couldn't afford to lose her when her time was up.
Right.
So I said, listen, let's let's bump up these rentals if we can.
We gotta find some money
Yeah,
somewhere.
find some money because I cannot afford to lose her.
Mhm.
Cannot afford to lose her.
Mhm.
And so um she's paid out of the rental money. And
So
sometimes,
everything is
like
just
right
going right
now,
back. Right.
this girl been working all weekend cooking,
Mhm.
okay, on her own time. You think I'm gonna have her doing that and not give her something
No,
over and
you would do it.
above
Right.
what she get paid for? No.
Right.
Guess what? That comes out of that rental money. Them two buses was paid for out of that rental money.
And all of these
Yeah.
programs for the seniors.
A lot of special programming that we do comes out of the rental. And then one thing people don't realize
Mhm.
when you have a rental, that's extra time most of the time because it's evenings and weekends when we normally wouldn't be there.
Mhm.
So you're running more electricity. You're using more water.
Right.
You're using more cleaning supplies.
Right.
You got to pay staff to open. You got
Mhm.
to pay staff to come back and clean up and close.
Mhm.
Originally, the city wanted 25% of all of our rentals. I said, well, then we may as well just not do them. Because at the end of the day, when we subtract what we need from the rentals and give you 20, there's nothing left.
We're not
So
gonna have nothing.
we want it was for naught. So we'll just stop doing rentals,
That's
right?
crazy.
They made a big issue about the alcohol, but in the new contract, if you all have it, and I know you do somewhere, it doesn't say we can't have it. Matter of fact, with them wanting to know about our rentals, they want to be able to micromanage them. They want to know who's renting, their address, their phone number, their email address, how much they paying,
They don't need to know all of
and
that.
whether or not they have an alcohol.
They don't need to know all of
They
that.
don't. They don't. They're not involved in our day to day. We're renting from you. I've never seen a landlord say, "I want to know every time you have a party, who you having the party for, who
Or who you
coming."
having over your house every night.
Right,
That's
right.
basically what you're trying
Basically,
to
what?
do.
Yes,
I do
yes.
one last question real quick from Miss Michelle Michelle Young out of the Sixth
Hey,
Ward.
Miss Michelle.
Are any of the grants or money provided by the county paid directly to your 501c3 or is it to the center itself? That's the first question.
Okay, let me answer that one.
Okay.
So, the money is paid directly to the 501c3. And I'm going to explain something in a minute. The name of our organization and the name of the building, but I'm going to finish answering your question first. So, it is reimbursable. They don't cut us a check at the beginning of the year for 137,923. We're allowed to spend 1/12 of that money each month
Mm.
on allowable expenses. We provide, or I provide a report. Say this is what we paid staff, we paid our electric bill, we paid our printer bill, we paid X, Y, and Z, right? And then it goes into them with receipts for everything we paid for,
Mhm.
and they reimburse us.
Mm.
That's how that goes. Now, if by chance I spent a little over 1/12, I just have to ask permission
Okay.
and say why it went over. There are times when we have multiple snow plows,
Right.
that take us over. Or maybe I didn't get a bill in time to pay it last month. And so now I have an extra bill,
Absolutely.
that sort of thing. But that's how that works. It's reimbursable. But it is paid directly to HasselBring Senior Center, the 501c3 organization. The building's name, y'all, HasselBring Park Community Senior Citizens Center.
Who?
Two, yep, all that mouthful. HasselBring Park Community Senior Citizens Center. That's the name of the building.
That the city on.
Pull a picture up of the front of the building, Mickey. It's up there.
Mickey said, pull it up. Did I send it to him? I didn't send it to him.
Okay. Go to HasselBring's page. It should
Let me
be.
see if I
Oh,
can
you know
go
what?
to
That's
it.
the old one. That's No, it's not. That's the old one. That's the old one. It's not gonna be on there. I may not have it. Yeah.
HasselBring Park.
HasselBring Park Community Senior Citizens Center. That's the name of the building.
That's a mouthful.
It
Okay.
is.
All right. Go back to what you were saying.
Okay. So that answers that question.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next one she had up here. Hold on, because that was a lot. The next one she said, how much was allocated to seniors from the county and for what period of time?
Annually, 137,923. Now that just went up a couple years ago from 113,000.
Okay.
We were only
Okay.
getting 113,000, but then there was extra money um that they had, and
And they
so
gave some
they
to the
gave,
seniors.
and so yes. So there are, for those who don't know, there's 25 senior centers in the county, and there's level ones, twos, and threes.
Okay.
However, really, there's no level ones, but those are the options, right? So, us, Brennan Center, and maybe a couple other of the smaller centers, we're level twos,
Okay.
right? So that's 137,923. We've been busting our butt trying to get to a level 3
Okay.
so we can get more money,
Okay.
right? And one of the criteria for doing that is having 1,000 people, individuals, scan the first half of the fiscal year, October the 1st through March 31st,
I know
right?
y'all got that.
But it's got to be seniors that are 60 and over, because that funding, this is another thing people don't understand, that funding covers our people that are 60 plus. Our
Mm.
membership starts at 50. They
Okay.
don't cover anything from 50 to 59.
Okay.
Another reason why we need more money than just the county money.
Okay.
But I do write grants. We get and solicit donations, you
Mhm.
know. So
Because
yeah,
that's really not a lot of money. Okay.
it's
The
not.
last part of her question. How much has your 501c3 invested in items? And this may be kind of redundant because we did talk about this a little. How much has your 501c3 invested in items that are used in the center that the city will need to reimburse you if they take it over? And has Leon consulted with you since he's been elected, which we talked about that? But the
Anything that belongs to HasselBring Senior Center, if they are successful in evicting us, we'll go with HasselBring Senior Center. Will not be left at HasselBring Park Community Senior Citizen Center.
they don't understand that.
They don't understand that. They don't understand that. Anything that belongs to HasselBring Senior Center. So, FYI, they sent Tiffany out a week ago Friday.
Who is Tiffany?
The girl that works in this office.
Oh, okay.
To take pictorial evidence of things in the building. Then they sent, I think her name is Miss Cassandra, out Friday.
Who is that? Somebody else that worked down there? He changed.
She does programming. She doesn't work for the city, but she does programming. But she came in as we were preparing to leave I was preparing to leave on Friday to make a list. And so when Tiffany came, I'm gonna tell you, my staff and my seniors were ready to give her hell. I said, no. Oh, y'all calm down. No. She's doing what her boss told her to do. Don't get in her way. She ain't hurting us. She's making a list. She's taking pictures of everything she see. But just because she see it don't mean it belongs to the city.
Right.
Because if the city's money didn't buy it,
they ain't getting it.
They ain't getting it.
Right.
So no worries, y'all. Stand down. Stand down.
I mean, even the roof repairs and stuff, you all pay for that.
So
put the holes back in the roof.
Well, there's one already there because we've had an issue with a leaky tile right outside the computer room ever since they redid the tiles last year. And no one has been back up on that roof to see what's going on. The tile has been replaced twice. And if you walk in and look at it now, it's horrible.
This the city.
So my issue, so, for those who don't know, we were granted $600,000 for facility improvement. 450 of that came from my foundation. 150 came from city ARPA dollars. Okay. So we were not given any control over trying to get contractors. None of that.
Wait a minute. The money came to y'all though, right?
It went to the city for us. So the city facilitated everything. The city facilitated. It went to their bank account. It didn't go to ours.
Okay.
The city facilitated everything.
Okay. He kept that money.
So a lot of the work that was done subpar.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you an example. The parking lot. They came and did the city workers came and did the parking lot. And it was a mess. I complained for 2 weeks straight and nothing happened. Finally, they sent, I don't want to call his name, but they sent a worker out to look at it. Took pictures, took it back to the mayor. He said, oh yeah, that's messed up. So instead of having them come back. So if you pay for a job at your house, a contractor, and they, don't do it right, they have to come back and fix it, right? You don't have to pay them no more money, right? So the mayor ordered somebody, an outside contractor, to come back and redo it. So they took another set of money from us to do the parking lot.
That's how they did them bricks downtown. When they laid the bricks down, they said they forgot to seal them. Then they had to pay them again.
So we've had those kind of situations go on.
Double dipping.
For instance, I'm still waiting on the new stove and refrigerator for the kitchen. But computers had been on the list. Well, we sat down and made a whole list. That's how they determined how much money we were getting. Okay. But computers. I'm not a Dell person. I like HP. I've had issues with Dell. Every Dell I've worked, I've had issues. I haven't had issues with HP. So my preference was HP's. Now we were supposed to be able to say what we wanted. So I got all excited when they called me and told me they were here. Oh, great. Yeah, they just have to get set up for somebody to get them delivered. Well, then they didn't get delivered for like a month, and I'm like, what's the hold up? Oh, IT has to program them. You said they were already programmed, ready for. Oh God. So it's always something. Then they come and they deals. My computer in my office, we got 10. We got one for finance office, one for my office, and 10 for we got 12 and 10 for the computer
I
room.
seen that room. Very
Okay.
nice.
And so mine in my office, and I think it's three of them in the computer, within a month don't work properly.
Mm.
If I'm working on my computer, as long as my fingers on the keys, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Let me take a phone call for 2 minutes and come back. My screen black. I'm hitting enter to wake it up. It won't wake up. I got to hit Control Alt Delete and then cancel on my screen to get it to wake back up. I have been asking for that to be remedied. Well, when I first asked, that was, I guess, right around the cyber attack. But it'll get taken care of as soon as the cyber attack is cleaned up. Well, how long has it been cleaned up? I don't know. But still not. So I called again last week about it. And in the meantime, while I'm calling, I'm asking for, because we've asked before for transparency with the money and how it was spent. I said I want a list of everything that was purchased or paid for, and which fund, how much it cost, and which fund it came out of. Did it come out of the ARPA dollars from the city, or did it come out of my money? So actually, that happened just as Tiffany was walking in the door. I get a call back from my facilitator at the city, sounding defeated, saying, um, I'm told you you're going to have to ask for that directly from the deputy chief of staff. I said, no worries. So did you do it? It's like, no, 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 no. You have to ask because they know
They want
because
you
they
to
know I don't talk
talk
to him,
to
right?
Ed Taylor,
That's okay.
right?
That's okay. So I sent a letter.
Mhm.
Yep. And then I sent a follow up this week. And then tomorrow I'll be calling him. I don't have I'll call you on the phone. I'm not sitting down with you, but yeah. Yeah. And in the letter, I didn't even rush him for a time to do it. But I did ask for you to tell me by this past Wednesday and the day when you would be able to have that for me.
Right. Now, would it help if the seniors and people did come down and try to at least talk to council, just get on the
So
record
here's the
tomorrow?
thing: is they can go on record. They can go on record. Yes, and I think it would help to spread the word, and the more people know about the
Spread the
real
word,
deal and
y'all.
what's really going on,
Mhm.
the better. But two things. Number one, for the most part, council supporting us. But now that council's not doing what they want, now they want to put us out. So it's really out of council's hand, as
And
far as I know.
okay,
I don't know if an eviction can be done without council approval, but I'm assuming it can be for him to go ahead and do it.
child, they probably made up a new rule for it.
It's possible, right?
Hmm.
But to keep it out in the atmosphere for people to know what's happening, write letters to your leaders, to your mayor, even the commissioners,
Hmm.
right? To your senators, your state reps, your governor.
How many now? Commissioner Del Rico Lloyd, is Commissioner Charles Winfrey also serving in your district as
No,
well?
no. He's so they all have a different district.
Right,
Yeah,
right. So you
but
just
he's
got
right over from us.
okay,
Yeah,
but your main one is Commissioner Del Rico Lloyd,
Lloyd. Yeah, but
who
all of them
was the only one that
at the
stood
end
up.
of the day, at the end of the day, if the city is trying to get our money, that's
Mhm.
got to go. That's going to involve the commissioners.
Right. That's
So yes, all of the
take
commissioners.
their phone, blow it up, let them
Yes.
know what's going on. In closing, and I'm gonna let you give about 1 minute to wrap it up. But in my opinion, this is something that you wouldn't even think would be on your top on any priority list. Let's just keep it real. We're
Right.
talking about seniors and babies, two of the most
Hmm.
vulnerable groups in the world. Seniors. And like I said, if you look at it, we all getting old. We all hope to get
Yes.
old one day, and we may not have family around.
Mhm.
And like she said, and we seen it with our own eyes, they become family up there. That's all they got. And they trying to put, oh, the building won't close, the building won't close. Well, it closed twice when the city had it before. The city not gonna have the people up there. They not gonna have Miss Beverly and her staff up there to plan the trips, to plan the events, the special events that she puts on. They gonna put some stuff together, but it won't be what it used to be. Quit letting people take advantage of the seniors. Don't do that. Come speak out tomorrow, even if it don't penetrate half of them. Let the city know, let the world know, because everybody watching us all over the world.
That's true.
And coming to a senior center near you. So don't think that just because you sitting pretty right now, that it won't hit your side of town soon. So y'all all need to come out and band together and do what's right and help HasselBring. Miss Beverly, I appreciate you for coming to ATN
Thank
and
you for
telling your
inviting
story.
me.
And please wrap up for us tonight.
So one thing I want to say is HasselBring Senior Center is open from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. The office closes at 4. We are always seeking out new members, age 50 and up. But remember, we're really looking for those 60 and ups to be able to get our dollars up, right? We have so much programming that it would be hard for me to go through and tell you everything that we do. But you can call, we can give you the information. You can come in, you can stop by, sign up for membership. We can email it to you. You can fill it out and send it back. We would love to have new members, but we have a large variety of activities that go on. Um, I'm not a fighter, but this situation has put me into a fight, and I'm going to fight until the end for my seniors. I don't, I don't stress myself about the situation because I am a praying woman. Um, and I pray for discernment, how to move all the time, and the Lord is steadily opening things up for me. So just know that until the end, I'm going to be fighting, and my board is right behind me. They are supporting me, they are encouraging me, and we're going to do it. We're going to do what we need to do. We are having our Christmas party on Tuesday. Starting at 1 o'clock. We have a time frame from 1 to 3.
Okay.
But
Okay.
that's the hustlers' day, and they classes over till 6. So I can tell y'all gonna be partying from 1 to 6. Miss Beverly gonna be gone at 3 o'clock, if not before. Okay, but we do have a very nice program for the first couple hours, and Deborah has a spread, man, laid out. There's a whole lot of different things that while she was talking, I thought I could say, but the number at the center is 810-766-9516. Now, 9 times out of 10, if you call, you're not going to get me, but you can leave a message for me, and I will return a call. 810-766-9516. One thing that I tell everybody, there's no secrets from our end. If you have a question, I'm going to answer your question. I'm definitely going to answer your question. So give me a call, shoot us an email, stop by. I may not be able to sit and talk to you right when you stop by, but let somebody know that you stopped. My staff is very capable of making sure to get all messages to me, and I return calls all the time, emails all the time. So thank you all for listening in. The last thing I'm going to say is letters of support are definitely needed.
Yes.
Whether you send them to us to put together in a packet, or if you send them out to your leaders. Leaders include your council people, your mayor, your commissioners, your state reps, your senators, your Congress people, okay, and your governor. Because starting tomorrow, we're gonna open this thing wide up. We're gonna open it wide up. So
I'll open it wide up tomorrow.
Wide up.
Wide up. Thank you, Miss Beverly, so much for joining
you for
us
having
today.
me.
And thank all of you for taking time out of your Sunday afternoon. Now y'all can go on back to your football games and stuff. Thank you so much. See y'all tomorrow at 9 a.m. on the bump.
Bye-bye.